Costume fails happen all the time, and clever camera angles can only hide so much. In the first Avengers film, our introduction to Black Widow is her escaping an interrogation and breaking a nose with her hair. Her hair is just as lethal as her fists. The moment happened about 14 minutes and 26 seconds into the movie. Obviously, in real life, we know that the reason Natasha didn't actually make contact with the criminal is because they're both actors and that wouldn't be safe. But in the context of the movie, you can't help but laugh a little at that guy being hit by hair and causing him to stumble back. Unfortunately, the camera angle didn't help with this moment in her epic fight sequence. We all love Black Panther. He is literally one of the coolest heroes out there, but only when it comes to his character. In real life, he is probably physically like the hottest team member. Think about the last time you wore a full coverage, all black outfit in the hot sun. Imagine that also being a cat suit and you have to run and jump and dodge. Absolutely not. Unfortunately, that is exactly what Chadwick Boseman had to endure in the Black Panther costume. The actor claimed that in the suit he felt hotter than he ever had, and he even had to go into a zen space just to deal with it. Thankfully, the next time he had to don the iconic cat suit, he received an undersuit that used ice water to cool the body. Still, all that could not have been comfortable. Although, I guess we would have never known if he didn't tell us, considering how well he wears the hero costume. He makes it look so easy. Another Marvel actor has a very similar story, Paul Bettany as Vision. He also had to wear a suit with lots of coverage and darker colors in the hot sun, but instead of a mask, he had the pleasure of wearing layers of red paint and makeup. Bettany said the process of putting it all on would sometimes take over 2 hours. The results, they were worth it, but they came with suffering on his part. Marvel had to work hard and quickly to hide the signs of the perfect hero facade fading. It wouldn't look good to have the Vision literally melting on the big screen. Sometimes the makeup would need to be reapplied every 5 minutes, and that is quite the intense deadline to work with. To make things easier on the actor, he wasn't required to wear contacts, and he also got one of those high-tech ice water suits. While the ice water helped, Bettany claimed it felt like being inside a gin and tonic. Is that a good thing or a bad thing, I wonder? Despite all the accommodations Marvel made, that didn't mean it was easy to wear the costume. By day 5 of filming, Bettany said he was struggling to find the motivation to get out of bed and into the hero digs. Despite his clear grievances when it came to the outfit, he did a great job at hiding his discomfort. Moving on to Loki, the character has worn so many iconic pieces and interesting costumes that it's hard to believe a simple pair of dress pants would be the bane of his existence. Costume designer for Loki, the TV series, sat down with Screen Rant for an interview in 2021. When Christine Wada was asked how many shirts Hiddleston had gone through during his stunts, she was quick to exclaim they should have been asking about the pants instead. The pants were apparently made from actual 1950s fabric known as shark skin. This means they were easy to tear and hard to stretch. Thinking back to all the action sequences Hiddleston performed in those pants, it's hard to believe Marvel managed to hide all the tears that absolutely happened. Wada claimed that Hiddleston went through 15 pairs of pants on the set, and that rips happened all the time, we just didn't see it. Another major rip we didn't see until long after it happened was Darcy's from WandaVision. Actress Kat Dennings shared a behind-the-scenes snap in honor of WandaVision's 1-year anniversary. It featured her and a ripped costume. The caption to the Instagram post read, "It's the 1-year anniversary of WandaVision, so here is me breaking my Spanx on my first day in the circus outfit." The circus outfit is from episode 7 of the show, titled Breaking the Fourth Wall. Thankfully, the costume itself was fine, it was just the undersuit components that got ruined. Still, that would have been a big moment to hide from the cameras. In Avengers Infinity War, Marvel accidentally left in a costume fail. At about 12 minutes in, a jacket disappears. Literally 1 second it's there, the next it's gone. The scene this happens in is when Tony and Pepper are walking through the park, and Tony is trying to convince Pepper that he wants to start a family. In this scene, he's wearing a sweater, like a jacket, just tied around his shoulders. The audience notices it's there because Pepper unties it at one point so she can better see where Tony's arc reactor was. It's very clear Tony is wearing an extra layer, but not for long. At 12 minutes 18 seconds, we have jacket. At 12 minutes 19 seconds, we have no jacket. Watching the scene in the movie context, you don't really notice his lack of extra layers, you're too focused on the sweet moment, but when you're keeping an eye out for the slip up, it's quite jarring and honestly kind of funny. Was the sweater nanotech? Who knows? Even funnier, Tony is wearing the jacket again in the next scene. The 2 minutes of its disappearance will never be explained. That's not the only costume error made in the film. A smaller mistake happens a little bit later. About an hour in, Spider-Man's hair gets redone mid-scene. When he and Iron Man are arguing about Peter taking the one-way trip to space, Tom Holland's hair goes from being like ruffled and covering his forehead from removing the spider mask to being perfectly styled and pushed back. You might be thinking, well, maybe he fixed it when Iron Man was talking. Marvel actually made that impossible with their framing of the shot. When Peter isn't speaking and the camera's on Tony, we can still see all of Peter and both of his arms neither go up to reset his hair. This is just a silly little mistake that you hardly notice with all the father-son bonding happening on screen. The earlier Avengers movies also came with their fair share of costume mishaps to be hidden. Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow costume looks great, but it caused the actress a great deal of discomfort, and it didn't hold up too well when it came to stunt work. Apparently while filming the first Avengers movie, her costumes would get shredded, each outfit only lasting an average of about 3 days. However, it's not like the suit was that comfortable to begin with. Johansson claimed that the costume felt like a wetsuit. It was tight, overheated, and so sweaty she would have to wring out her socks. Apparently, she once became so overheated, she started hallucinating. That does sound like a nightmare, so I'm sure she was relieved with the later iterations of the suit that were designed with her comfort in mind, like the one in the latest Black Widow film. The actress did say this version of the suit was the most comfortable. Lately, Marvel has been doing a lot of time travel or setting their media in different time periods. However, they don't always get the details right. A lot of times the details are like tech related, like using a not yet invented computer system in Captain Marvel, for example. Another example is the scene in Endgame when a character clearly speaks on a phone that wasn't launched until 4 years after. It happens when Cap is in the elevator and pretends to be a Hydra agent to get the scepter after the Avengers time travel back to the 2012 battle. Agent Sitwell is chatting away on his phone, the Samsung Galaxy X6 that didn't come out until 2015. Again, it's 2012. Marvel did remove the Samsung branding, but the phone is obviously still the phone. Maybe the government gets access to all the latest tech long before the public, I don't know, but the continuity error is glaring, especially in a movie that utilizes time travel so much. So this last bit is not technically Marvel, but it is Marvel adjacent. So we all know, we were all excited to see Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. Well, in order to come back, Hugh had to bulk up again. He had been working on Broadway, dancing his heart out every night in the Music Man, but pretty soon he would need to fill out the yellow and blue. That meant drinking lots of protein shakes. His body apparently changed so much that he was splitting his Broadway costumes. That's a big problem because splitting a Broadway costume is nothing like splitting a film costume. With a movie, someone can just call cut, costumes as time to get new pants. With Broadway, you have seconds, maybe minutes at most to sort that out. That's exactly what happened to Jackman one night. After already having his costumes let out twice and adding Velcro, he still split his pants 18 inches. He had 2 minutes of time off stage to get a new pair, or else he was going on ripped. Luckily, his dressers had his back, but it was a close call. Who could have guessed the effect Deadpool and Wolverine would have on Broadway, but what do you think? Let us know in the comments. Bye!